Hello there, it's Amy Register, the belligerent Bible worker. I am the digital evangelist at Sunnyvale Seventh day Adventist Church currently, and we're getting ready to have an influx of guests. And so, my friend Juanita and I have made a guest readiness, um, just sort of a rubric, a way that churches can grade themselves. If you want to see the whole rubric, you can email me at askachristianfriend@gmail.com and I'll send you the link. Just working my way through for people who might want to listen to it, and just kind of to give myself a brain dump opportunity. This segment is all about your facilities and what it takes to be exceptional, acceptable, and some signs that you might need to take action. So, facilities, and by the way, these 7 things that we're going through are actually on site to be guest ready. You also need a great online presence and opportunities for people to do service and other things. And even within these 7, there's things that we could focus on. But this little section here I'm doing should give you a great overview on what can and should be done, at least looked at to get your church ready for guests. And you know what? Unfortunately, we don't live ready for guests. We have insider language. We have a lot of things that we don't pay attention to on a weekly basis. So this is not new info, but it might be really nice as a refresher. All right, so facilities. Um, Here's some things that make a church exceptional. If your foyer, sanctuary, classrooms, and your fellowship hall are updated, and what I mean is that they do not have mauve or goldenrod as the main color, but have simple, modern, doesn't need to be over the top, but your color palette usually in Adventist church indicate that they haven't been updated since the 70s or the 80s in some cases. Um, but clean, updated colors, comfortable. And what I mean when I say comfortable is that things like temperature and volume are looked after. So, as I mentioned in a couple of previous videos, I visit a lot of churches and even on occasion act as a secret shopper. And what I noticed is that there are many forgotten rooms in your church that are really, really cold in the winter or really hot in the summer. Especially lately for me, I've noticed that with the parents' room or the mother's room, as a lot of churches call it. In our churches, if they're older and they haven't seen young families in a while, they're probably the least comfortable place. And it's kind of rough because babies need the temperature control even more than most adults. So, temperature, check your volume. Same thing with the kids' room. A lot of times there'll be a way to tune in to listen to the sermon. A lot of times that also happens like in the fellowship hall or another place in the church, the overflow area. The audio hasn't been checked and it'll be staticky or non existent. So, those things are really important when you're receiving guests. Your bathroom is a big deal. A lot of churches don't know this, but your bathroom can be really, really off putting. Um, if there's sewage smells coming from your bathroom, and people forgive you if your bathroom smells like poop because it's a bathroom, but if it smells like sewage or if it smells like people are trying to cover up things in your church with sprays, it's just not good. It's really gross. So look into the underlying problem on those things. It's really important. Note again about the parents' room, since this has been top of mind for me a lot lately. Make sure that your church has a place where somebody could privately or at least semi-privately breastfeed. It doesn't need to be super, super private, but it needs to look like you at least made an effort. So if somebody stumbled upon a woman breastfeeding there, it wouldn't be awkward for anybody. They would know, like, oh, okay, that's where that happens. Need to have comfortable seating for that area as well for someone to breastfeed, and then a place at least to change babies' diapers. Um, If you're exceptional, you have a great place to change diapers. You're well stocked with diapers and wipes, and you have age appropriate toys, and you have listed your sanitation procedures. Um, your your children's room don't doesn't look grody. It looks age appropriate. Again, modern, updated, and doesn't need to be top of line everything, jungle gym playhouse type stuff. It needs to look like you care and that it's refreshed and changed often. In those areas, looking for specific information for the people who go there. Again, that's exceptional. I know a lot of churches don't do that, but that's what we're looking for because it looks like life is happening there and like we want to return. Bonus, if you have a hospitality member who checks in on young families in the parents' room or kind of roves around your facilities, that's super cool. A lot of greeters and hospitality teams stay close to the door, and I did another segment on that. This is above and beyond, obviously, but yeah, it's really nice to have a hospitality member checking in those areas, making sure people don't need extra help if they're struggling or straggling to the main worship service. Also want to note the place that you have set up for fellowship meals, potlucks, or to host people. Um, it should be extra nice. A lot of churches do put in time into coordinating themes and details with, how their tablecloths and stuff look, especially around the holidays. That stuff is always appreciated. And if you do potluck once a month, maybe it's not too much effort for you to do that monthly. I know it can get rough if you're a church that does that weekly, but think about what would it be like if somebody's first and only time coming to your church was this week and they attended potluck? What would you want for them to feel welcome and loved? So in the exceptional category, your facilities are all clean, updated, and modern. You you have your parents' room well stocked, and you have a hospitality member making sure that people in those areas, in those facilities, are cared for and funneled to the next step. And your potluck area is great. Now, you might not have all that, and most churches fall under the acceptable range in this. Your foyer, sanctuary, classrooms, fellowship hall are clean and comfortable. Temperature and volume again. Bathroom and other rooms are clean and free from offensive odors. Parents' room has that semi-private place to breastfeed, comfortable seating, and has a place for the parents to change their diapers. You might not be able to bring all the toys, diapers, and wipes and keep it stocked, but you can just provide a clean and comfortable space, and that's totally acceptable. All right, some clues that you might have action needed. Your foyer, sanctuary, and classrooms are dusty, dark, musty, uncomfortable. Bathrooms or other rooms have smells, offensive odors. Maybe you don't have a parent's room or area. Maybe the one that you have lacks privacy or has no designated place to change diapers or is otherwise uncomfortable. Take a look at it. Invite your friends with kids to come in, invite your neighbors to come in and just secret shop your church and have them tell you what they thought. Be prepared to make changes. So, all in all, that's the facilities. We talked about the outside and outward appearance on first impressions. So, that also plays in, but less so. We're just talking about internally what you have to make your guests comfortable in your rooms. That's it for this section. And again, if you want this rubric, email me at askachristianfriend@gmail.com. See you next time. Next segment is on the church service itself. So we'll chat about that for just a minute. Thanks.